I thought I'd do something special today and cover a little bit of my former childhood trauma. So, me as a kid, obviously, I grew up in the 90s, meaning I was a big fan of the Green Ranger. However, the Dragon Dagger was one of the few Power Ranger toys my parents could never get me. In fact, the only time I had ever held one was having to give it to some other kid I didn't even know at a birthday party I didn't want to be with. Lovely that. However, thanks to my girlfriend in the modern day, I have this beautiful original Dragon Dagger straight from the early 90s. She found this at a flea market. No, not a flea market, like an antique shop, complete with box. I don't know how she does it. She's magical. So, let's go ahead and take a look at the original Dragon Dagger toy. And this is actually for like a 90s toy. This is beautifully rendered. This is, pretty accurate to how it looked in the show. I have the modern replicas, like the legacy Dragon Daggers hanging on my wall. So, looking at this and like having seen that recently for a comparison, there's not a lot of details missing on this one. Like maybe a little bit of gold down here, but for the most part, yeah, like they've done a really, really good job. So obviously you've got a lot of different plastics going on here. There's a lot of gold plastic, which does not seem to be like fragile over time gold. At least, this one doesn't seem like there's anything wrong with it. The blade itself is done on a softer, more rubberized plastic for child safety, obviously. Obviously, most of it's cast in the black, but we also do have that gold chrome dragon coin right there in the middle. I still don't know why they never released a dragon coin for your morphers back in the day. That always seemed weird to me, but hey, I think they didn't realize the Green Ranger would be such a big deal at the time. So, let's see. Yeah, it's just a really good feel. And even right now, like even in an adult hand, still size is pretty good. Like that actually feels pretty correct. There is a little slot molded in where you're supposed to blow into the actual flute portion of the Dragon Dagger. The flute that sounds like a trumpet. Unfortunately, there is no function for that here. Obviously, there are toys where that is a thing, and it's very silly. But for the most part, yeah, this is actually surprisingly well rendered. Like, you even have like the texture on the blade done as a sticker. Now, of course, this is a 90s toy, which means it is loaded with sound effects. Unfortunately, the one thing that is wrong with this piece, despite, being in beautiful condition otherwise, is the battery compartment did have some old batteries in it. So there's a lot of corrosion in there that I need to go in and clean out. So this one sadly does not play sound effects. This one does, though. No battery case on this one, and this one is a little bit rougher condition, as you can see. So I'm going to play this one off screen while I use this one to demonstrate what buttons you are actually going to be hearing. So, for instance, there's a trigger right there which plays the slashing noise. You have to hold the buttons down on this thing, by the way, in order to play the entire sound effect, which is a little bit odd, especially on a slashing attack. But there you go. These buttons down here play the more familiar noises. If I play the middle one, I get the sound effects for the actual theme song. And yeah, it will repeat if you keep holding it down. The top one, that's the lesser known of the Dragon Dagger songs. It's usually the one he uses to make the Dragonzord attack, usually the missile firing. But the more familiar one is that bottom button. And that's the one we're used to hearing over and over. So there, the repeat makes sense. And that's pretty much your lot. So yeah. So, back in the 90s, that's all it really took. Just some slightly accurate sound effects. Oddly enough, even the original Dragon Dagger does not play the actual authentic music from the show because no one wanted to license it from Toei just for the sake of a toy. So, yeah, I still have not heard an accurate Dragon Dagger. Might have to import for that. But for now, this is not a bad little piece. If you can get it fully working, this is still a really serviceable Dragon Dagger. You know, it still plays really well. It looks really good, and, you know, even accuracy. If the sticker's still there, it's actually pretty bang on. So yeah, this is a lovely, lovely piece. So, there you go. That is your Dragon Dagger. That is your Toycember for the day. A little bit of an oddball, but that was the point, wasn't it? So, as always, we go all the way to the end of the month with Toycember. So I will see you for another one tomorrow.
Analysis complete. Adapting translators to local language.
Are you out there?